Hello traders, so we are looking at NZDCHF and I'm gonna start on the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see here, the market was pushing to the downside, creating lower lows and lower highs. If we start from this point, you can see that this is our low, this is our high, this is our lower low, this is our lower high, and this is our lower low. So that is the current market structure, as you can see right there. And we had a break here, and I'm using the 3 candle pullback, guys, né? And here we also had a break of structure within this point, just like that. So the market is pushing down, and then from this high, this is a protected high, and then this is your targeted low or your weak low. This is where you target. So I'm gonna remove this thing here. And for those who quickly forget, this high area here should not get broken. If it gets broken, that means that you have a change of character, and then you'll be looking for buying opportunities instead of selling opportunities. So within this point, this is our area of value, or that's an area of supply right there. So within this area here, we had internal structure here. As you can see, the market gave us this low and then gave us a higher high and then a higher low here, which means that is your internal change of character within this point here. So we can just say this is our I church, guys. Ne? So an I church internal change of character. And around that point, you can obviously see that the market tapped into an area of supply within this point. This is our last buy to sell candle, guys, ne? Or sell to buy candle in this case. And then we had a break of structure, which confirms that the internal structure is pushing to the upside, as we can see right there. You can just use the fib tool from the low to the high. Then you can obviously see that the market went deep into that 50% area, or this area here. So that is where we decided to buy. And then this is our previous low, and then we had a new higher low here, and then that is a new break of structure, as you can clearly see. And most of you can get confused. Those are weak creations. This is not a break here. And then our full high is this one here. So it means that from this low up until this high, it's your trading range. That is if you trade internal structures, guys. Né? And then as you can clearly see, this was the last area for us to take some buying opportunities. And then we also had liquidity within at this point, as you can obviously see. These are lows here. These lows here were creating some type of liquidity. So we can just map them out so that you can see them and learn from them, guys. Né? So let me just do this so that you can see the liquidity right there. So the high was targeted, as you can see here, and then it got taken out. Let me just change the color for this line here. So it got taken out within this area here. As you can see, those are weak creations. That is not a break of structure. So we had a break of structure within this point, knowing that this is our lowest point, this one here. So from this low to this high, that's our overall trading range. And then we were looking for buying opportunities from this point here. This is where we were looking for some buys. And then as you can see, the market took out this low here, and that means we have a change of character, obviously. Then it means that we're having a realignment on the lower time frame, just because the overall structure was pushing to the downside. So this is a realignment, and then for now what we're going to do is look for buying opportunities. So I'm gonna push this back, selling opportunities. Sorry about that, guys. So the areas that I have is this one here. As you can obviously see, this is the last area for that buy to sell candle. As you can see, we also had a gap within that point. And another thing that I'm looking at is this liquidity point here, which it confirms a lot of things. Whenever we have liquidity, we know that the market has to take out that liquidity before we get like some selling opportunities, guys. Right? So let me just change this color here so that you can see it. So the liquidity is around that point, and this is our area of supply that I'll be looking to buy from using a risk entry. And then within this point, that is where I'll be looking for confirmations, knowing that we are targeting this low here. So this is our targeted low. So we can just switch to the hour time frame, and that is when we refine our zones, guys. Né? So this zone should be refined to this one here, just like that. And this one at the top, I'll be leaving it like that just because I know that there is like a lot of consolidation within this point, and we can just get into this zone, and then that is when we can look for a change of character. That is if the market is a bit choppy, guys. Né? So as you can see here, this was also a liquidity sweep, but like I'll just leave it at that. So now we can switch to the 15-minute. That is where I take my entries, guys. Né? So from the 15-minute, you can obviously see that the market was giving us higher highs and higher lows. So from this low here, we had a high, then we had a higher low than that point, then we had a higher high. So the market is still pushing up in this case. So we are not ready to be buying in this market up until we change character within this point. Then that is when I'll be interested in taking some selling opportunities, just because even if you try to sell from this point, you can just pull this back a bit. Let me just pull it back a bit so that you can see something. So we had this high, we had this low here. So let me just do that, and we have an area of demand within that point. So the market can just continue pushing up from this point without giving you some nice selling opportunities. So that is why we need to stay out of the market and wait for a change of character to happen. Then that is when we can take some selling opportunities, and we can just do this before we close off. We can just do this, refine this one here to here, and we can obviously see that we had this big imbalance within this point. So this is a valid trade, to be honest. We just need to wait up until it forms up the way that we want, guys. Né? And another thing, this is trend line liquidity for those who trade like trend lines. This is trend line liquidity within this point. This is trend line liquidity. As you can see, those are taps or those are touches, and it means that we are going to take out like some early sellers. So let's say from this point here, we have a push down, then a retest, then the market will gravitate towards this area of demand and then start buying, and then you get taken out, and that forms a lot of liquidity because we have something resting at the top here, of which it's liquidity. Then that is when we get to sell at the top, just like that. So make sure that you're in the right trade, or make sure that you're in the right direction, guys. So that is it for today's video, and I'll see you on another one.